I'm starting the recording right now. This is the last lecture of the semester for Design 350. It's Thursday, December 10th, and we just have a few things to go over. Okay, sorry about the noise in the background. That's just the way it goes sometimes. Okay, so this is the last day of the class. I'd like you to make sure that you review your grades and to see that everything submitted by Wednesday at 8 a.m. has been graded. So if you have any open things from prior to Wednesday at 8 a.m., and I've even graded some things after Wednesday 8 a.m., but certainly all of your work that you've turned in should be graded. And there was not very much late work, so I went ahead and graded all the late work. So what do you know? There wasn't that much, so everybody got all of their stuff graded. So please go through, and then if there's a problem, if you see something that goes, hey, I resubmitted this and you didn't catch it, or I submitted it late and you still haven't done it, let me know. Sometimes the Canvas gradebook from my end is not as easy to work with and see things as you might think. It's kind of odd that such a major company as them can't put a regular gradebook together. But anyway, so check it out and see if there's anything there that needs my attention and send me an email. I will be working some on Friday. I'll be working all of next week on mostly on Design Hub stuff, but certainly on catching up with grades. So that's the main thing I want you to do, is make sure that you've got everything turned in and that I've reviewed it and graded it, that I haven't missed anything. Send me an email if you had. We'll go over the portfolios in a minute. They are due tonight. It's right here. You'll see that on the due date thing right there. Due date. Complete portfolio, and that's due tonight, so please get that in. If you have not already done so, a whole bunch of people have already done so, and I've graded them. And I have some to show you. They really look cool. Let's see. Was there? No. So the sanitary drain. So Laura asked, was there a sanitary drain planning process research project? That was one of the options that you could choose if you wanted to, out of all those option things. So, and that might have gotten left in there. I kind of collapsed those all up into industry choice, and it could be that I left some stuff hanging around. So no. Yeah. Okay. So with industry choice 3. Everybody's done awesome. You know, you've all done the work you need to do. You don't have to worry that there's more left that you don't have. So there we go. But I'm going to show you some of the portfolios that have been turned in because I just think they're cool, and it shows a wide variety of styles and work that was chosen, and I love that. Because our working world has tons of different opportunities that can come at you. Okay, we'll look at the final exam again, how it works, and submit here. But first, I want to show you this. I know I got it last on the list. I should have it up higher. But you are all part of a test run, a beta of what they call HiFlex, flexible learning, where we offer both synchronous and asynchronous. So on demand, which is asynchronous, it's like whenever you want it, and live web meets, which will eventually turn, we hope, into live, on the ground, in the classroom instruction. And we're interested about your choices and how you access the work and things like that. So we have a little survey about it. It can be anonymous or not. It doesn't really matter. And then there is an I missing here. That's on purpose. This is our department designator, like Hort is horticulture, IDES is interior design. So that's why this looks funny. So we just like your feedback, and you can put your name in if you want. None of these are required. Which course did you take? What did you do most? On demand, live, sort of an even mix, or you really did both. You were on demand when, looking back at things and reading things and going over them again after you had seen them on a live web meet. So we're just trying to get an idea from students as to, your choices and how you did them. And then, there's this idea, and there's a bunch of research that says it is important. And so was the ability to choose it all important to you? Or was it just like, well, it was what was there, so no big deal. I'm just going to take what's offered. And then I can easily see how it can be confusing. So I want to know whether all these choices you were given, man, I gave you a lot of choices, not just in how you participated, but in what you did. And some people hate that, and some people love that. And so I'm interested in was this a useful choice? Now, this is specifically about on-demand, live, a mix, how you used it, and not so much about all of the choices in how you could demonstrate your work. And then just, this was a first time through in us being able to do this. So as you may be aware, although in design and Hort not so much, but there are some instructors that just say you must be in the class, listening, participating. And there's a lot of classes where that's important. I can't imagine doing like a rhetoric class where you're supposed to speak to people and listen to people and interact with people. I can't imagine how that can be, just on your own, on demand. I would think that would have to be either one or both. So it all depends on the context of how you're taking the class. But I'd like you to know, what can we do better with this high flex thing that would make it more useful, easier to follow, things like that. Okay? So if you could take that, that's great. It's similar in a way to the one that you did about 4 or 5 weeks ago, but it's got a little bit different focus. Okay, so now let's go to, I'm going back up the chart, the final exam. Here's how the final exam works again, which some of you have already done the final exam. That's cool. I think I've even graded one. I'm not sure. So here's the final exam. You can either do a CC&R write-up, and it's based on the Winding Oaks Fair Housing Plan. So you'll take that plan and then modify it just a little bit. So as an example, I talked with Laura about it, and I said, well, just get rid of the new thing that you did, which was a community garden, and just put an empty box there and call it solar power field. There, that's it. That should take you like 5 minutes to do to get the drawing part done. And then just talk about all the items that would need ground rules for installation, maintenance, use, in particular, how is it distributed and who do you distribute it to? And we're picking on a 16 kW field, so that would be about, I think, somewhere around 150 or 200 little solar panels, which isn't all that much in reality. It's not doesn't take up that much room. And 16 kW is pretty good. 4 kW is what you sort of normally put on a house in this area. So it's kind of sized for each segment. There's lots of things to think about, and all you need to do is spend an hour, and if you can, this one is kind of like, what are you recording this for? I'm only recording it so I know that you didn't take like 15 or 20 hours putting this together, because I don't want you to. I want you to spend an hour on this, okay? So don't spend. Now, if you want to do a little research on the side because it's cool and it's interesting and you want to do a really nice job, you don't have to record yourself doing some research. But please don't overkill it unless you just go, this is the coolest thing ever. I want to spend my entire finals week doing it and forget about all my other classes and get F's in all of those because this is so interesting. No, don't do that. Get good grades in all of your other classes. Okay, so that's create a CC&R. This skill demonstration, again, just turn on your PowerPoint, screen record, and you'll be able to do everything. 4 of them on the small. Oh, I know, it was Wasan. Yeah. Laura says, I can control myself. Yeah, right, Laura. You do so much extra work. You cannot control yourself. You do so much extra work. But Wasan, I think, did. Yeah. And she hit the 4 points all around and did the little drawing, and that was good. So you can't copy Wasan, but if you want to ask her advice, you can go, how did you do it? Oh, I just got in there and put 4 posts down and took some pictures, and away we go. And to get pictures out of this game, I suggest that you just use the PowerPoint screen record and then just take some snips of it. Or if it really turns that you can't get pictures, take a snip or a picture out of one that I've recorded already. Okay, so that's that one. Just the 4. There, put a poll on each corner and put the data down and draw it. There, piece of cake. And then the Minecraft one, I don't know if anybody is interested in doing that. Renolfo and Ayub actually did the project. I think they were the only 2. So maybe they want to do this and maybe they don't. But there's the join code for it, and there's the IP address. And I missed part of it right there. If you that's really weird. If you have a hard time getting onto it, just give me a call and I'll make sure that it's available for you. Okay? And that's, again, there's 8 posts that here, I'll show you. Here it is right here. Resume the game. There's the spot. Okay? And you can see those 4 little columns there. You just need the XYZ location of each of those columns and then plot those as a boundary. Okay? So you're just making a boundary drawing for this one. It's kind of neato. I found a good spot and it all fits. And these are, of course, meters. And so you would need to make sure that you note that on your drawing if you if you do it. Okay, so there we go. Let me get back to. Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? There's a little fishing pond right there. Or maybe it's alligators, though. If this is more of a Florida type place, um, maybe those are alligators. Snipping tool, yeah, yep, snipping tool works. But really, the best thing is just do the PowerPoint screen record, submit that, and that really does it. Okay, so timing. Anytime now you can do it and put it in. Post it early. If you keep reposting, that's fine. If you want me to review it, just send me an email and I'll say, "Yep, there we go." Let's see. Okay, yeah. That's cool. Oh, yeah. So you did. Wasan did work. You worked a lot with PowerPoint, right? So that's why your PowerPoint looks so good. Oh, that now I get it. And the alligator thing is pretty right on. They are depending on where you live. Yeah, YouTube has some great PowerPoint stuff, and then just the little one that I put on there, I think, gives you some pretty standard stuff. And of course, I personally use Google Slides. There's a few reasons for that. One is that I can get to it anywhere. I do not have PowerPoint on believe it or not, I do not have PowerPoint on the computer that I got from Design Technology that I'm using. So I use the PowerPoint on VMware, and of course I use Google Slides all the time. But the other thing I like about Google Slides is you can have a programmer script it for you. So let me see if I can find an example here of scripting and why that's cool. Just so that you can see, I'm going to go to darn, that one doesn't. Why don't I have access to that one? Thought I had access. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Let me try this one. No. Try this one. I don't have access to any of these. That's really interesting. All right, well, I can't show you because I don't seem to have access right now. Don't know why I can't see those ones. She must have changed the access from them. Okay. Well, never mind, but you can script, so that's a cool thing. And that allows you to add your own buttons and actions and capabilities, which is really kind of a cool thing. All right, there we go. So that's how the final exam works. So now we're just into the last little bit, and what I thought, first of all, are there any questions? Do you guys have any other questions on this right now? Okay, then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you some final portfolios that just look really cool. This one's Renolfo's, and if you are unhappy that I'm showing these, That's too bad. They're great, and you do need to get used to it. If you're going to be a designer, people are going to see your work, and people are going to critique your work. And that's why I teach you how to do a critique in this class with some of those front-loading words and things that you say. But these ones I've got. It's a real easy job because they all look cool. So Renolfo's looks good, and he's got the different types of drawings. He put, instead of the whole drawing, he put the view. That's a good way to do it. Adding each view onto each one. That's really cool. And saying what type of a view it is down here in the corner. So those are all kind of cool. Here's the other ones, the plot map, the calculations, all of these things. So that's, and what I like about these is it provides an interviewer with the idea that you've got a broad set of skills. This is a wide set of drawings that show a lot of different things. And when you go to an interview, you have to sort of read what the requirements of the job are and figure out which one of your portfolio presentation pages best exemplifies those particular skills. So when they say, have you ever, or tell us about, or can you demonstrate, or we'd like to know that, rather than going, oh yeah, I took this course in school and I did this and I did that and we learned about blah, blah, blah. That is the worst thing you can do in an interview because you ramble and get lost. The very best response to any interview question is, well, let me show you what I did in a certain class on, and you will see. It's absolutely the best way to answer an interview question. Okay, so on this one, if they say, well, have you done any, roadway planning work or something like that, Renolfo would be able to point at this and say, let me show you from my DT350 topo drawing page where we took a drone topography and really called attention to major points of the roadway. Okay, cool, right? And then they get to see it, and drone, roadway, major points, design, and they see it. It's just a really great way to interview. So that's what these are all for. This looks really nice, really good work on all the things he did. Look at that one. There's all those, and it's fine that they're different size pages. Okay, it doesn't matter at all that these are all on different size pages. And then he did the data, and here is his Minecraft one, which I really liked because he put a fence on the boundary, which I hadn't thought of. So that was really cool. He fenced the boundary to make it easy to see. And then each of his columns, he used tricolors, so each color signified an elevation. Really a cool concept. And then, of course, I went and chipped away everything one at a time, but you can lay TNT and blow things up in Minecraft, which is kind of fun. That's why Minecraft is fun. You can blow things up, and it doesn't hurt anything. So there we go. So he did a really nice job. Benjamin also did a beautiful job. And what I liked on Benjamin's is he gave a context for what he was showing on each one. Okay, so that was a cool little addition thing that Benjamin did that was different than some of the others, and I thought that was really cool. And I like Benjamin's title block too. Okay, very professional title block, especially with the north symbol to show that, that's just always where we put north. So these were really nicely laid out and easy to see. And, the transformation, this is the idea behind the land planning, right? You're going to change this thing somehow. So that's really cool, and these are really neat. A really neat way of putting the um, the images along with what you actually did. That's really nice. And then your industry choice drawings, and of course, I happened to really like the way you laid this out, and all you landscapers that put in really nice visuals, I love it. It's not a very mechanical engineering thing to do, so I'm no good at it. But I enjoy seeing the work that you guys sometimes do. This one's Laura's, also really, really nicely done. I like the framing that you used on these to kind of identify what it was and hold it apart. Okay, and then what this is showing right here, existing, new, and right of way. Drain. So this is really cool because it shows that from one drawing you've got 6 basic drawings. I think that that's a really cool thing. This was a nice way of pulling that thing in. I thought that was pretty cool how you were able to do that, because it looks like it belongs there, and even though on the paper it was really big and was kind of a problem. So again, just keeping that same style all the way through is a very nice way of doing it, and this would plot out very well too. The other thing I like about PowerPoint and Google Slides is if I were to print this out, you get to do a test print to see how this background color prints and how it looks, and you can vary that and you can change it to make it lighter or darker or a gradient, or even just eliminate it if you need to. So this is just looks really, really nice. It's just clean, easy to read, lots of space. I thought this was a nice way of putting the the context of where it is. If you were showing this to a land planning person, they would automatically go, oh, went to the ArcGIS thing. That's cool, because everybody would recognize that. The goal behind this is if you showed this to a civil or a land planning or an architect, they would see that and know that you knew where to go to get it. That's kind of a cool thing to put on there. And then, very nice. You can't really read this, but you know that there's I mean, you can read it. You can zoom in, but it's not super crisp and super clear, but it doesn't matter. It's the idea that you're showing off that you know that there's something that you submit, and that it supports this package. It's a very typical good layout. Okay, more typical good layout, showing that, there's the basic drawing, and it gets used over and over and over depending on existing, demolition, SWIP, and BMP. Okay, so this is the type of thing that would impress somebody, because they get the idea that you're efficient, you're effective, because you can reuse the same thing over and over and over again. All your extra documents shows that, and then into the survey data and how you got it and what you got it from and all that. So that's really nice. Showing the traverse there is a good idea. So this all looks nice, and look how they're using kind of the same. In this section, they all have a similar look, so that's really cool. Okay, so that's all excellent, nicely done. This one's really cool looking. Look, it went from that, got them all in there. That's all cool. And then this work is showing, again, if somebody's paying attention, see that that Laura has taken that base design that's already there, and they're just reimagining a portion of it. That's pretty good. Cool. Very nicely done. This is a well put together one also. Cool. And there, and she's got the links to the actual drives where you can go to get the work. That's a really cool thing. Okay, let's see. This one is Kayra's. I don't think Kayra's on with us. I think she's working right now. So she's one of the ones that's had the opportunity to go back and look at everything. So Kayra, when you go back and look at this one, here's a shout out to your good work if you have an opportunity to watch this one. So this is nice work again, you know, showing each one on the template. Now she chose, instead of showing just the view, to show the whole drawing. That's cool. All works out very well, and shows again though that there's my basic drawing, and I have many uses for that basic drawing. I use it over and over again. Her topography drawings looked really nice. There's all the data that comes out of it, all of the section drawings that come out of it. These ones, I think these were, no, these were done in AutoCAD. So she got these done in AutoCAD, I think. The fair housing, land planning documents and things like that. That's great. Really nice job with how she arranges her. All of you landscapers have been trained well, in particular, on how to do these. And I'm pointing that out because my design tech people, I already know you're well done with laying these out because you have it over and over again. But I don't get to see all of the previous work that our landscape students did to prepare for this class. And I'm just seeing great preparation. So when you talk with Cielo or Stan or whoever is doing some of that other work, yeah, Cielo in particular, right? It's just cool because we're all talking the same language, even though we're from different disciplines. So this is a really nice. I mean, this is just looks nice. That's just all there is to it. It's just well done. Everything is well done. You know, and you can see we all had the same project, but they all got envisioned a little bit differently. So that's really cool. I like that. I like how those were all done. Okay, let's see. Her survey work looked fine. You know, this was really good. Getting to see the survey data sheets and what they turn into and how you use them for different ones. Those are all cool. Yeah, one part that's off, but that's cool. And she did a really nice write-up on the financial analysis and adding the accessory building. So that's kind of neat. I like that. And then this, she did so much work on this. I think she did a lot of work. Maybe she comes back on and gets with you guys. No, it all just kind of fell in place. But look at this. Isn't this nice? And then this was her question. She goes, I can't see anything. And so we talked about how she could break it out so that it would present well. So there's lot one and what it looked. And I love what she's done. She worked on the accessory building thing. So she's not showing it in her portfolio, but she has this sort of building pad that you see right here. She has that laid out with an internal space plan that shows that it's a nice little studio with a bathroom, a very small kitchen, and a little bedroom studio living area. And she took to heart the parking, right? So there's parking for the accessory, for a guest or two, and for whoever's going to live in the main property. And then, boy, did she ever really do the planting plan, right? So she really has this thing super well laid out, and she did that for each one of the things. You can see they're all very similar but a little bit different. similar, but just a bit different on each one, right? They all have and that's something that people do, right? They go, okay, well, there's a main load. And then she talked about the maintenance on all of this and everything else that would go along with it and be part of the main thing. So isn't that cool looking? Okay, and I'll of course take credit for all this, even though Cielo and Stan get some credit, but I'll take credit because it's my class. Um, so this is Michelle's. Michelle did a beautiful job on this one. I particularly like the sun path from Revit because we barely touch on it, probably in 328. Oh, Paul. Yeah, Paul was awesome. Natalia says she learned it from Paul. Paul was awesome. So Stan is the new Hort guy. Stan. Now I'm blanking on Stan's last name. He's very, very cool, and Paul was awesome. He was just great. Um, and he retired what 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that. Yeah, that was really fun. So here's another one. What I love about Michelle's is, man, they're clean, they're straight to the point, and they really demonstrate all those things that we were looking for. This is particularly a particularly clean portfolio layout. So Michelle, very nice work on. I think you're on right now somewhere. Yep, you are. Um, this just looks clean. If you show this to somebody and put these together, it's like they can see what's going on. They can see how it works. They can see how clean it is, right? And then you can talk to. Well, yeah, they all look the same because it was the same basic drawing with the different information. There was utility, stormwater pollution plant, right? And so you can use this to draw out your conversation and point at things. Yeah, so Stan has been around for about a year and a half, but he was in a motorcycle accident at the very, like at week 10 or 11 of the fall of that last year. And so he missed like the last 4 weeks of the fall. And when the COVID hit, they just sort of like canceled a bunch of the classes he was doing. He was coming back on. So this is his first full semester, except for his first semester. So it's like his fourth semester. And yeah, he is yeah. So Laura says, yeah, he's impressive. He's got it. I've sat, as new faculty, they ask existing faculty to sit in. And some people think it's so that the new faculty can give advice. But it's real, or the old faculty, I am old, can give advice. But it's really, believe it or not, so that the people that have been doing the same thing for 10, 15, 20 years can see how the new folks are doing it, whether they're young, new, or old. He used to teach at Kent State, I think, for many, many years. And I'm telling you, man, his lectures were, the ones I sat in on were so good. And he knows his stuff. And what would really impress me, like I sat in on his talk on friction loss. And I get friction loss because it was, taught to me and everything. And I got it engineering wise and all that kind of stuff. But I know that friction loss just blows people's mind, and it's hard for people to get a handle, partly because it's just not solid, right? High friction loss is caused by 2 or 3 or 4 different things, not just one thing. He explained it so easily and in such concrete, simple terms. I go, oh man, he's a master. So if you get a chance, go back and take his, I don't know if he teaches irrigation or or what, but he taught friction loss, man. It was really cool. Anyway, back to Michelle's here. These are just clean. They're just plain clean and nice looking. And so I like that. I like how clean they look, and how good they are. So that's really cool. And then Michelle did, and that's just a cool view. And then Michelle did the lighting, right? Well, the one thing I really like is that when she talked about the fair housing stuff, we talked about calling out the public transportation accessibility, all these accessibilities, and here they are. So I thought that was really cool. That I think Michelle is the first person I've seen that has that in there. And these just look, again, they're clean, they're good, they're nice looking. Everything's all right in there. So just really good work. And I wanted to show this. So she's got the just sort of like the cool raised planter area and the walkway. So a community garden, and she's got costs and done a really nice job of looking at costs all the way through this. And here's the sun path analysis, which is a really cool part of Revit. So showing how the sun will affect on the solar panels and the cooling and design temperatures and all that kind of stuff. So this was like, okay, cool. I like that, because that's my ballywick. I love this kind of stuff right here. And so this is the part that I thought was like, yeah, I love that part. Look at this, man. This makes me just want to go solar right now, because there's all the Benjamin says Revit impresses me more and more. Revit is a powerful tool, man. I am telling you, it is a cool tool. Okay, and the last one is Wassans, and we already saw Wassans, but I love the layout, and I love how, here's the link to the original files. Just very nice looking. And I don't know, Wassan, maybe I'll talk to you a little bit on Design 320. We are able, actually all of you, but we use PowerPoint a lot in Design 320 and Google Slides. And we have an opportunity to, now they've opened it back up to hire student help as what they call Beacon Tutor Plus. And we can, and that's what we used to call an embedded tutor. So if anybody is interested in being an embedded tutor for one of my classes, I've got Design 330 and I've got Design 320 and I have Design 4. No, those are my only two classes I'm teaching. Just send me a quick email that says Beacon Tutor, Beacon Tutor Plus. And you have to take 6 units. You have to be enrolled in 6 units. Some of that can be work experience. There's also a 5-week LRC 310 where they teach you the rules about being a tutor. You know, they want to make sure that they don't have people going, well, you idiot, what you need to do is, or making comments like, well, that looks like what I did in 3rd grade, or something like that. Yeah, 320 is going to have SketchUp, Google Slides, Revit, AutoCAD, and Jamboard. I'm going to start teaching students to use Jamboard. And so that'll be kind of cool. Because you can use Jamboard with a touchpad for anybody who does happen to have a touchpad. It's kind of clunky if you have to use it on a mouse, but we're going to give it a try. So anyway, so there we go. But PowerPoint and how to lay things out. I'm not sure if your company taught you But there's the rule of three. There's the Fibonacci series. There's the two-third, one-third, one-half, which sounds like it doesn't make sense, but it does. You cut your drawing into two-thirds and one-thirds, and then you cut the two-thirds in half. And that's a real common way that things are arranged on a page. So anyway, so I see that all of these are really laid out in nice ways. And I really liked this part of it. I think we talked about that where it says, for our purposes. So people don't read their own context into these drawings. Those are important things. Having the context of where these drawings came from and what we're trying to do. Okay, land planning documents. They just look nice. This is all just really nice looking work and nice looking layout. This is something that you do in PowerPoint more than what you do in Google Slides. And tell you the truth, sometimes when you print these with the cool PowerPoint things, they don't translate. And if you upload this to Google Docs, they don't come back well sometimes. So you have to kind of look at when you use their cool imaging systems of what you can do. But it looks really, really good when you do some of these things, especially and also sometimes when you send these to a printer. Printers have to be able to read the PowerPoint codecs or whatever they call it. So kind of cool. But these look really nice. So there we go. That's this also looks really good. Having this show looks really nice. This is all just fun work. I'm enjoying just looking at these things. And then I see since there's some landscapers, this is cross pollination. Our design tech people wouldn't really have an idea of doing these cool things like this unless we had seen it before. And so that's why I really like having multiple disciplines all together. This is really, really nice looking. Okay, so there we go. All cool stuff. See it in Revit. There we go. All right, so that comes to the conclusion of our course. Look at that. We have 10 minutes left. Does anybody have any questions or comments or want to show us something from your screen in particular that you want to show off that we haven't gotten a chance to see? Cool. Well, Benjamin says thanks for the great semester, and I'll say again, thank you guys for the great semester. My mentor, Dave Sinclair, who taught me how to be an engineering manager, pretty much told me, get out of the way of the people that are working. Managers have to get out of the way and make sure they don't muck things up. So I like to get out of the way and let you guys work, and then I see cool stuff. So really, really nice work all the way around, and I thank you guys for being really a cool, fun class. This has been one of our funnest classes. Okay, well, if that's it, I'm going to just show you one last thing that if you have a need to get a hold of me, I don't think you will. Let me make this show up a little better. There's not many open spots left here. And next week, I'm just going to leave it sort of like send me an email and I'll meet you on this. If you need to get a hold of me for anything, you should also know that any of you who need, no, I'm, oh, sorry, yeah. I'm just showing you the, there we go. Showing you the, pink thing there. If any of you need or want a letter of recommendation, so a reference, you put me down and they just call up and go, okay, was so and so a student? Yes. What range? And I go back and look at my records and I say, okay, design 350, fall of 20. And then they ask a couple of questions, which sometimes I answer and sometimes I don't if I can remember. And often I'll go back and look at your Canvas submittals and go, yep, got everything in, got everything done. That was really cool. But a letter of recommendation is different. That's where you ask me to recommend you either to a company or for a position or just in general write about your skills. And if you would like a letter of recommendation, then you just send me an email. It says I'd like a letter. And if you use me for a reference, please let me know. Because if I get a call from somebody I have no clue about asking about you, I will likely not answer because your information is private. So you have to let me know that you've used me as a reference so that I can let that information go. But if you would like a letter of recommendation, you can always ask me at any time to write one to a specific company that you're applying to. And you can ask me for a general one. And I will write about the specific skills that I know that you have. And then you can use that in support of your applications if you would like. Okay? So if any of you want one of those, just send me a quick email and I will be happy to write you a letter of recommendation. Okay. So there we go. That is scholarships and jobs. Those are all good. Those are all good to get recommendations. That's all cool. All right. Well, there we go. That's it for the semester. Thank you guys so much. If you want to be able to reach out to each other, you can reach out through the people section of Canvas, or you can hop on and put your contact information here for people to look at. And I'm going to say thank you very much, and I'm going to sign off. And for those of you who I'm going to see again, I'm looking forward to it. And those of you who I won't, I want to express my appreciation to you and say thank you and how much I've enjoyed working with you. So we'll see you later. Goodbye. Oh, real quick. Show it again. How to do. So Natalia, you want to see how to do screen sharing, or you want me to turn mine off? Or how to do screen recording? Okay. So here we go. That means I need to hold on a sec. Let me see if I can find that video. Yeah, I do have the video somewhere, and I just need to find it. Search screen. Okay, here it is. I would like it because it lets me know how people are doing and how long it took. Okay, so I've got it here. So now I need to put it on to, hold on, I'm almost there. I might have already done it. Let me look for, Okay, so here it is. Hold on, I've got it. There it is. So do you see the link right there? There we go. Cool. Any other last questions before I log them off? That's cool. I'm glad I was able to find that. Okay. Cool. Well, it was fun. I appreciate it. I'll see you later. Okay. Bye.